everybody, welcome back to JuJu's Journey. Today is June 28th, it's Sunday, and I thought in tonight's video I was sitting down and I was trying to, I'm upstairs in my office by the way, I was trying to come up with a plan, and I said, well, I can do that with my friends, so basically what I plan to do is, I'm sorry, that's not my real voice. As you can tell, I'm in my pajamas. It's Sunday night. I'm trying to make a plan for my life. This is JuJu's Journey, by the way. So if you're new here, I'm a widow. I'm 58. And it's hard. It's hard trying to move forward. And the way I feel I do best moving forward is making lists. So this week I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to plan my meals. So when I go to the grocery store, I can try to stay in that budget that I planned. I'm going to organize some business stuff. And I'm going to do some home projects. Not real projects, but things that have to be done. And I'm going to plan something to do fun this week. Not with my children. I'm going to do something, I think, try to plan an outing with my aunt. And I think I'm going to plan a weekend trip with a friend of mine out of town. I think I'm going to go see her for the month of July. I'm trying not to spend money because I've got that vacation coming up in October. And I'm still broke. We were having a storm, and I'm trying to figure out if that's sleet or hail. I hope not. I hope not. Well, anyway, but I think the best thing I can do to stay on track and to try to reel myself in is to sit here and just plan. If I don't do everything on my plan, what I write down, that's fine. Completely fine. But the main thing is being intentional. If you're trying to be intentional, you will accomplish something, right? And I do find that if I do make a plan, it does help me stay on budget. I did do DoorDash today, but the DoorDash I did order, it was lunch and dinner. It was a pizza. That's no big deal, right? And so, it was a debit, so I'm going to write that down and deduct it out of my cash wallet this week. But I'm going to try not to run my debit card anymore for the rest of the week. And I think another thing I'm going to have to do, we can do that whenever we're talking about business and restructuring my life, okay? Hopefully making a list and trying to stick to it, it'll help reduce my stress level. And hopefully it will make me enjoy my life a little bit better. So let's just start planning. So I want to do a cheap budget as far as lunch and dinner. And I don't have any particular day that my lights are flashing. I'm not going to do it Monday through Friday. I'm just going to plan meal options that can give me enough options for the week. I love chicken pot pies. I don't know if y'all like chicken pot pies. I like the banquet chicken pot pies. So I'm going to put chicken pot pies for dinner. And then at the bottom is going to be my list, grocery list. And I'm going to do chicken pot pies. And I normally buy 2 to 4 chicken pot pies. And I'm going to need bread because I like to eat bread with my chicken pot pies. Lunch, I am going to do chicken salad this week. And I'm going to need a whole chicken for that. And I might use part of the meat for sandwiches. And so I'm going to also need crackers because I like to eat chicken salad on crackers. And then I'm also going to need sweet pickle relish. I'm going to need to check on my onions. And I'm going to need eggs. And that's all I'm going to need for chicken salad. What would be another good meal that I love? I know what it is. Corned beef and cabbage. Yes, yes, yes. Corned beef and cabbage. I love it. So I'm going to need cabbage and corned beef. And I just get kind in the can. So good. I need to check on my onions. So I'm going to write a little note right here, check on onions. Okay, so that's two options for dinner, one for lunch. What would be another good lunch option that's cheap for the family? I'm not really a big hot dog person, but I do eat hot dogs. I do feel, you know what? We can do beanie weenies, pork and beans. Ooh. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some hamburger meat. Pork and beans. I wonder if I'm going to need brown sugar. And I think I have enough ketchup and mustard. So, beanie weenies, or it's not beanie weenies, hamburger, and pork and beans. Okay. So really all we have is chicken salad. I might do hamburger and I'm only really going to figure out 2 lunches because I can eat leftovers myself. So, and I'm going to do filled peas and rice. And I do want squash with mushrooms and spinach. Okay. So I'm going to need to get filled peas at the grocery store. Filled peas at the grocery store. I know I need to get some more rice and squash. I've been craving squash. I need some mushrooms. And I may or may not do spinach, only if I decide. I'm really starting to crave making my own smoothies again. So I'm going to get some yogurt and some spinach. Okay. And I think I have fruit already, so I think I'm good on that. So, chicken pot pies, corn, beef and cabbage, hamburger and pork and beans, filled peas, rice, squash, and all of these things pretty much. I'm going to do breakfast for a meal. So we're going to need eggs, maybe for lunch. I know I have grits. So eggs, bacon, I think I'll get 2 things of bacon. That way I can have a BLT too. I know I need a tomato at the grocery store. So, bacon, eggs, toast, and grits, right? Bacon, eggs, toast, and grits. That's a good lunch. So we'll do that breakfast for lunch one day. And then I'm just going to let my children come up with 2 days. I'm not worried about it. I'm tired of having to plan for everybody. And I may just do a sandwich that day. I'll cook the bacon and take it over. That's what I'll do. But breakfast, and then I'll have bacon to make a BLT at my house. I need to get some lettuce. And I've got to try to stay in my budget. You think I can? It'll be $20 for lunch. My children normally give me $20, but we haven't really been eating lunch at my daughter's house. Her husband started working more remotely from home. He's got an office at his house. And so if he's working from home, we won't go bother them for lunch. And my other daughter will come to my house. So we're not really all sticking in our $20 a week like we have been. So things do, time changes and people change. And I've been eating, I've been so spoiled. I've been eating every meal next door. Well, I'm trying not to do that. I did eat next door last night. We ate steak. But I'm going to leave them alone tonight. I need to start cooking for myself. I think that'll make me feel better too, instead of relying on other people. I don't need to rely on my children to be my source of entertainment and my livelihood. My son came over today and mowed grass. Wonderful. But I felt like it was a burden. He mowed my backyard. My son-in-law mows my front. But my backyard had gotten way out of hand. And then, of course, we had that tree that fell. And although we cleaned the tree limb and everything up, the grass was tall. My dog gets things and chews them up. And when I say things, he may have a bottle, like a fertilizer bottle from somewhere, and he's got it in the middle of the yard. Well, the grass, we had rain, and our grass grows really fast. You have to go walk the yard to make sure there's nothing to get up. But my son came over today and mowed the grass, and now we can maintain it between me and my daughter and my son-in-law. And my son won't have to bring his big lawnmower into town to do it. We just needed something with some sturdiness to cut my backyard. And now my neighbors will be happy. Although my front yard's been great. My son-in-law's kept it looking like a golf course. But my backyard is a pain in the butt. I usually have to move my car, open up a gate, put my golden retriever inside. Just all of the stuff that when you're out mowing grass just sometimes doesn't happen. And then, it's hard, like the tree removal day. Nobody mowed grass that day. And then we've had the big birthday party. Nobody mowed grass that day. And so I'm very thankful he came over. But baby steps, we'll get there. But no, I'm trying to be more independent, except for the grass mowing. If my husband's riding lawnmower would start, then I could mow my own grass. And I'm not going to go buy a riding lawnmower. Not for 1/4 of an acre, and my children live right next door. That would be crazy. So I think I'm good. I think that should give me enough food. I can mix and match. I can come up with different options if I decide I don't want hamburger and pork and beans, which I can't imagine not wanting that. And then, of course, if I go through and see something on sale, then I'll grab it and kind of go back and forth. But at least I have a base, and I'm going to stick to it. And that way I'll have food, and I will not, you heard me, I will not order DoorDash this week. No DoorDash. Okay? So, lunch and dinner pretty much planned in my head. Got my grocery list. All I have to do is tear it off and take it, put it in my pocketbook. So now let's get to the business, you know. Let's see. Are we going to do business? Business. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Y'all, I've got to get with it. Whether I'm going to try to make a go out of eBay or not, I still need to work eBay. I've had my store, gosh, 8 years now. Maybe 8. I don't know. It could be less. But time goes by so fast, I'm thinking it's more like going on. Well, actually, I can tell you. It's been 7 years, I think, I've had my eBay store. And it does great. I've got to ship off something tomorrow. And I haven't even listed. I did not list one item this whole entire month of June. Not one. And I still make sales. So imagine, even if I listed, like, I don't need to be so gung-ho. I don't know why I do that to myself. But I do need to make lists. I just need to keep them more realistic. So for the business part of this week, I'm going to set a goal, 10 items to list. 10 list items. But I will be happy with only one. I mean, with only one a day. So be happy with 7. You know what? I'm going to take that last part off. I'm not even going to do it on a daily basis, because you know what that does? It sets me up for failure. If I say I'm going to list one item a day and I don't do it, I've already got a failure on my forehead. And so it demotivates me. I'm just going to say 10 items this week. One day can be for photography. The next can be for something else. And then as I list them, I can schedule them to be one a day. And I can work it that way. I like just list 10 items. It doesn't matter when you do it. Just list 10 items this whole entire week. You know, as long as I'm done by what, next Sunday, we're good. Okay, that's a good goal. And so to do that, I'm going to have to photograph, right? So my goal is to list 10 items. I'm going to photograph. I need to ship my items that sold. And I probably need to go downstairs, bring another bag up, and organize some inventory. Because, I think that I might find something that, oh my gosh, I've got to list that today. You know, it's something to give me, because they're mystery bags. The stuff I'm listing on eBay, actually, we'll have to open a mystery bag together. Why don't we do that this week? We'll do that. These are items that belong to my aunt Janice, who was like my mom. And so they're packaged up in big, gigantic trash bags. And so I pull a big old trash bag upstairs, and I open it up, and I'm seeing it for the first time again. You know, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to get with my aunt, because we both inherited this, and find out about this jewelry. And I'm going to see if she wants any of it. Sometimes she says just keep the jewelry. She doesn't want to deal with it. But I'll still feel bad. And I've got it downstairs. It wouldn't take me anything to lug it up. And so when I make plans to go see her this week, we can go through the jewelry. And I think I would enjoy selling jewelry. And it would be neat. It's all costume jewelry. So, yeah, that's a good plan. Organize inventory, and then I'm going to put jewelry in, I'm going to put jewelry over here. Okay, so I'm going to put one bag. That's all we're going to do. One bag this whole week. Okay, what else can we do business? I do need to measure my upstairs, because my new tax lady told me to give her a phone call in June. She would help me set up a tax ID number. And maybe if I get that, I'll take it more serious. And, you know what I mean? So I'll measure upstairs, get square footage, and get a tax ID number. And then I need to start keeping up with all my electricity bills, things like that. And I think I can write off some of it, a little bit off my taxes. So we'll see. Okay. What else for business? There was something else. Oh, that's basically it. Okay, so personal things that I've got to get done this week. I need to schedule a haircut. This is out of hand. My hair grows so fast. And I don't know when I had a haircut. So I'm going to schedule a haircut. And what else do I need to do? I need to go to the bank and get my money for cash stuffing for July. Go to bank. I've got it all ready though. I already have my denominations. Everything done. I'm going to need 35 $10 bills, 42 $20 bills, 11 $50 bills, and 2 $100 bills. And then the rest of this cash was what we spent last month. Like for bills and this is bill money and money that I spend that has to pay the bank back. Isn't that amazing? That's a lot of money. I'm actually going to have to, well, this is $1,020 I had to give back to the bank, but instead of giving it back to the bank, I'm holding on to it, and I'm going to get $1,980 out of the bank instead of $3,000 because I've got the rest of it right here. But I do need to deposit, what is this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37. So, anyway, I've got all of that organized. That's good. That won't take but a minute. What else do I need to do? Schedule haircut, go to the bank. All right. I need to I'm thinking and looking. I'm looking down and reading. I'm not going to buy Pepsi. I'm not. I'm going to drink more water. Drink water. I'm going to try to walk. I'm going to put walk 3 mornings, and I'm going to take Bebo for a walk. Those mornings that I get up early because I'm not sleeping. You know, sometimes I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and I go ahead and fix myself a cup of coffee. And then I crash, and I can't get anything done. I think and I can go walk right when the sun starts coming up. I can take my dog for a walk. That's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully it happens. We'll see. Okay, so that's, oh, and I'm going to make plans to do something fun. I'm going to definitely go to Aunt Debbie's. I haven't seen her in a while, and I miss her. And we'll play cards and maybe go through 50, a lot of jewelry. 50 pounds, 100 pounds. That's a lot. Okay, so I'm going to plan that. And I really want to see if we have any outdoor concerts this week in our town. And if we do, they usually do them on Thursday nights. I'm going to the block party. I'm going to check and see if we have any block parties. It's the 4th of July this weekend, so we might not. But I do not want to go anywhere for the 4th of July because I feel like there are a lot of drunk drivers on the road. I could go to the lake and get on the pontoon boat with my daughter, but it's such a long ride out to the lake. We have a lake in our town, and they'll shoot fireworks off from the middle, and they say it's spectacular. But if I don't spend the night, then I'm going to have to drive that road back. And so many people get killed on that road. And there's a lot of, I think, drunk driving because people go to the lake, get drunk on the boat, and then they come home and they wreck. And I don't want to get in a wreck. So, unless I can spend the night, then I'm not doing that. But that would be fun. That would be fun. But I think that's a pretty good list. What do you guys think? You know, I'm just going to put 4th of July plans. I need to get my Aunt Debbie's pool. You know, she's got a beautiful pool. But anyway, that's basically it. You know, that's basically it. And I'm kind of learning if I don't plan ahead, then I'm not doing anything. If I do half of the list that I just had planned, I'm doing great. I do know that I do have to get up and be dressed by 9 o'clock every morning. Oh, I do need to get dog medicine. And I'm probably going to have an appointment to go sign paperwork. Which I don't want to do. That's a big stress. If I could get over that stress of my life, I'll be doing good. But anyway, I would love, absolutely love to know what's on your schedule this week. Let me know. Do you work towards making goals too? Do y'all make lists? I really would like some dinner ideas, lunch ideas. I mean, are y'all living by yourself and on a tight budget like I am? I really wish I want my channel to be kind of like a community. And I wish we had a lot of people that chatted in the, left responses. And we could, really help each other out. That would be awesome. I would love that. But hopefully, last time I checked, I was still at 89 followers or subscriptions. And, my next goal was 100. Hopefully it'll get there. Maybe it'll get there in July. Would that be a good goal? Why don't I just write it down? Get 100 subscribers. Won't hurt, will it? And I do, for something personal, I do need to start doing devotion again. I've been really slack. Really, 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 really slack. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, we were going to talk about house, weren't we? I need to change my air filters. Did I do that? No, I've got to change air filters. I did get the measure upstairs. And I'm just going to put clean house. I'm not going to write down the task. We all know what you got to do when you clean house. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. You have no idea how much it means to me. And if you're new here, welcome. And I will talk to you later. Bye.